It was exciting to hear the story of South Africa, but we are not far. We're just above South Africa in location, but I think we are somehow far in Agbiotech development. So we use the same procedures, the questionnaires, interviews as Patricia described, and several institutions in Uganda participated in this study. We have the University far north, and many institutions are concentrated around Kampala, and that's explained by availability of utilities, for example, electricity and water supply. However, we have down south of the country, mainly where they do tissue culture. Two universities were involved. That's the main government institution, Makerere University, and Bara University, somewhere down. It's interesting for Uganda compared to South Africa. We are focusing on food crops, and this is well understood because most of these crops provide food security for the country, and the government decided to use biotechnology to improve food security and incomes of farmers. So that's why you will see bananas. The bananas are different from the bananas that we eat here from the supermarket. These are green bananas. You harvest, peel them, boil or steam, and eat with sauce, meat, or chicken. It's a different type of banana. But if you come to Uganda, banana is synonymous to food. So if there is no banana like today, I think that there was no food for me. That's what many Ugandans will say. Banana is grown everywhere in the valley and in the mountain, but that presents lots of challenges because there are several diseases on top of the mountain as compared to in the valleys. So that's why most of the constraints the researchers are working on are related to diseases and pests of bananas. The key disease that's recently attacked bananas in Uganda is banana bacterial wilt. The disease affects the pseudostem, the fruit, and including the leaves. Even if you are to feed the animals, there is nothing that you can use because everything is rotten. And the reports indicate that there are no available genes for resistance against this disease in the whole of banana germplasm. So that if this disease is not approached using modern technology, there is no way you can improve banana production in this country. Another constraint that we found out is black Sigatoka. It's a leaf disease. Actually, it's the first disease that the country tried to solve using genetic engineering. It's the first confined field trial that was done in Uganda with bananas, and scientists believe that's the first genetically modified crop that's actually done in sub-Saharan Africa, where the transgenic crop is developed by the citizens or the national research scientists in the Public Research Institute. Even if you were to do genetic engineering or you have smart scientists, you need a framework through which you can release or commercialize these crops. At the moment, we don't have this framework. It's proposed in the current bill that is raising a lot of chaos in the country. We have a lot of anti-GMO activists, and we have scientists at forefront explaining the benefit of Agbiotech, but it's still proposed. By the time I came on Wednesday, there was a discussion in the parliament. I haven't seen the views, but if the law was passed, I would have known. Probably we still have to convince the politicians. However, there are several products in the country, as you can see, in several products ranging from cotton, cassava, rice, bananas, and cotton with two traits. You can see the distribution of the crops. That shows the importance of the crops. But mainly, what we found out, most of these are staple food crops. For example, cotton, rice, and bananas, as you can see. These are the products so far in the confined field trial. Uganda has been at the forefront of conducting confined field trial, and I think following South Africa, we've conducted confined field trial in cotton. That's herbicide resistance, and cassava mosaic cassava mosaic disease resistance, maize, that's water efficient maize, and in bananas several projects have been conducted in the CFT, including weevil resistance, black Sigatoka resistance, nematode resistance, and recently we have projects conducting bananas with improved provitamin A. In terms of human resource, you cannot do agriculture biotechnology with minimal. Even if we didn't look at the infrastructure in this project, but we looked at the human resource. The human resource, as you can see from the picture, we have more collaborative efforts, including scientists from the US, Australia, and Europe. And in this study, we found out around 222 full-time equivalent of scientists. But we have to note that the way it's computed is not easy for scientists. Probably it's more or slightly less than what we indicate. About the projects, we identified around 27 projects. We had targeted 35, we know around 35 projects, but only 27 projects responded to our questionnaires. It's difficult to correct data because most scientists say they are busy and they have no time to fill the questionnaires. So it prolonged the data collection process because we had to visit institutes or scientists more than once. About the techniques used, all techniques related to gene detection because they're involved in genetic engineering practice. This include tissue culture, molecular markers, recombinant DNA techniques, and genetic transformations. Related to the financing of Agbiotechnology, the government of Uganda puts less money in agriculture biotechnology directly. This is because the agriculture biotechnology is financed through agriculture research. And it's difficult to know what percentage each institute is going to put in agriculture biotechnology. Recently, there's been a push to have Ministry of Science and Technology so that we can recognize Agbiotech as a branch of agriculture research. But the efforts are not yet fruitful. We're still financed through the main agriculture research. What I may call challenges, others call them problems. I think if the government was committed to the demands of scientists or the public, some of these challenges could be solved. For example, we need the government to provide more enabling environments so the private sector can get involved in Agbiotech activities. We also found out that there is little basic research done in the country. If you look at the projects conducted, most of these are applied techniques. For example, they acquire genes from Australia, from US, and try to develop a GMO product in the country. However, if you're to develop agriculture biotechnology capacity, we need to have ability to identify genes, to develop tools, for example, diagnostic tools, GMO detection tools, and also other products rather than food. So there is a need for the government to put more money or to put more emphasis in basic research so that we can have more balanced capacity building. If you look at the human resource, you see that there are gender issues. We have more men. If you can look at the picture of you can even see it from here, it's really difficult to find a lady doing genetic engineering in Uganda. Actually, we only have one. So we feel that if the country is developed capacity in biotechnology, we need to balance in terms of gender, have more females trained in Agbiotech because they have more concerns for food, considering that we are working on food crops. We also don't have a law that allows us to commercialize products. Related to the law, at the moment we have products that are almost reaching the market. For example, the banana bacterial wilt-resistant banana. If you go to the field, the transgenic crop actually looks immune compared to the controls. We are right now conducting multi-locational trials, and if the law was in place, it has more potential to save more farmers. However, it is still controversial related to the law, because at the moment we can do all the research, but we are not allowed to commercialize any product. Lastly, okay, thank you. Lastly, we feel that the country needs to improve the infrastructure issues related to procurement, as Sylvia indicated, because it's difficult to get equipment and consume other Agbiotech related consumables into the country. Thank you.